This is the guy who pioneered the whole true crime body cam content or whatever on YouTube. He was like the first one to blow up and everyone else started doing it kind of thing. And he's back after 2 years. He's finally back. Let's go. Steak and Brat, thank you so much, 100 bits. Stay-at-home husband tries to act his way out of murder charges.
According to CBS News, 50-year-old stay-at-home husband David Tronis desperately wanted to appear on reality television. In late April of 2018, he managed to secure himself a spot on the show Zombie House Flipping, where he would be featured renovating his newly bought house with his then-wife, 39-year-old financial consultant Shanti Cooper. The only problem was that Shanti wasn't nearly as interested in being on TV.
Wait, the first comment is apology from JCS? Wait, what did he apologize for? Sorry for letting you guys down. This channel wasn't sold and we haven't quit. We've just been dealing with some outside YouTube related stuff. We'll make it up to you and start posting out consistent content if you're willing to give us a second chance. But in any case, love goes to you all. I still cannot believe you got us this far. Yeah, because I remember he like ran into like legal issues or something like that. No, it's not an AI voice. Oh, wait, they used an AI voice? Wait, is that, wait, is that why they got, like, is that why people got mad at him? But they deleted it? Oh, the last video oh, okay. But I was about to say, this guy's not AI. I know this guy isn't. Okay.
So she refused to sign off on the program, which resulted in David beating.
Is this guy? I don't know. Is this guy AI? I can't really.
And then strangling her to death in the early hours of the following morning.
Okay.
He called 911 roughly 12 hours later at 3:51 p.m.
Hello?
He has an iconic voice. Why would he use AI? There was a female AI voice. This one obviously uses AI. I don't think this one uses AI because this is the one that I regularly hear. Perry, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. All right, but let's just disregard all of the AI shit. Okay, let's just chill. Watch this video. Okay, I hate AI as much as the next guy, but let's just watch this.
Hours later at 3:51 p.m.
Hello? I'm trying to do CPR. I can't. Okay, listen to me. Can you tell me what your address is?
Police and paramedics soon arrived at the residence where they were met with a hysterical David performing CPR on Shanti in the living room. His immediate explanation was that he found her lying unconscious in a partially filled bathtub, bleeding from the nose and mouth. He was then taken to the police station as a witness, where they swapped out his blood-stained clothing for a custody suit. He was also given a water, a blanket, and a box of tissues, then taken to room 6, where he was reassured that someone would be right with him to answer his questions, which was—
I don't know, from my experience of people finding their significant other just randomly dead, yeah. I mean, and also, you know, the hindsight and context of we're watching a video about probably murder. I think I'm just gonna go the route that I'm actually smart, and I could just see through this guy, you know?
Wasn't entirely true. He was left in there by himself for 4 hours and 9 minutes before he knocked on the door to use the bathroom.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to bother you. May I go to the bathroom?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
It wouldn't take a genius to recognize that David's behavior is already suspicious. Ask yourself if you'd be acting like this in the scenario he's claiming to be in. You find your significant other unresponsive in a bathtub. Then police leave you in a cold room for 4 hours without telling you anything. You might just ask someone, what the hell is going on? Or what the status of your wife is, and you probably wouldn't be all that polite and apologetic for just trying to use the bathroom. He returns from the bathroom and sits there for another 3 minutes. The detectives will now enter the room to commence the interrogation. The time is 9:08 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
I'm Detective Sprague. Can I get your first name?
First name is David.
David? Okay. We're gonna grab another chair.
Okay.
Did you need something?
I was just asking for a bottle of water.
Okay, we can grab you.
Dude, he's acting like he's like such like a victim in the situation, and they're talking to him like a baby. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess in this situation, if they think that he actually saw his wife, you know, just randomly dead, but he's just like, I'm okay. Maybe a little water. You know, you already got this little blankie wrapped around me, but maybe if you could give me a water, maybe some Tic Tacs, or I don't know, maybe like some McDonald's. Maybe give me a Happy Meal while we're at it, you know?
Have you been to the restroom?
I just want.
You just want, okay, how about anything else? Anything else?
I'm starving, a cracker or just something.
You and
just
me
with some
both.
salt,
What did he
right?
call
Did you
me?
like-
What did you just call me?
I did not eat lunch.
Don't be fooled by the detective's
Racist!
disposition. They're already certain that David has committed either first or second-degree murder, but they don't quite have enough evidence to place him under arrest, which is why they need a confession. David, at this moment, is still free to walk out of that police station, so the detectives will keep the tone sympathetic and non-confrontational for the time being to keep him on that chair. They'll afford him the false belief they are buying into his act as the grieving husband, but as soon as he gives them his initial version of events, the pressure will rapidly accelerate, in a manner that David is in no way anticipating.
What would you like to eat? And I'll run down.
Just something simple. Just like saltines or peanut butter crackers. Or
Anything
something.
like
Stop, dude, stop saying it. Oh, God, dude. He's saying it with the hard R, too. Come on, man. Jesus Christ.
That's not a problem. We'll be right back.
Here's your water, buddy.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I can take that one.
Yes.
Dude, he's acting like such a baby, though. He's like, would it trouble you? Some crackers or something like that, you know? Sorry, crackers.
Okay, things. Okay, is that good?
Am I allowed to say it when I'm black? Sorry, that's our word.
I'm with you. I haven't eaten since this morning.
I can't say it with a straight face.
You are David, I believe? Okay, all right. I'm Detective Teresa Sprague, and this is Detective Barb McClelland.
Hey.
First of all, on behalf of the Atlanta Police Department, we want to say how sorry we are for your loss.
So this is the first, out of a total 11, of David's fake cries. Their intensity level will peak about halfway through this video, during some of the more embarrassing performances you're ever likely to witness on the internet.
I
But
can't
from
wait.
that moment on, you'll notice these acts steadily diminish, as the detective makes it more and more abundantly obvious that she knows he's lying.
David, and also for everything that you're going through.
I just love how it's like on cue. Like, it's like, okay, wait. She mentioned my dead wife. It's like he's just waiting for like you know, this is what humans do. This is a human emotion that I am feeling, right? I look human right now.
For you, okay?
They start by collecting David's basic information.
Okay, blonde or brown hair?
I love both.
Both. Okay. Hazel eyes, maybe?
I'll take Hazel.
Blue, hazel, okay?
They're
Why are you laughing? Weren't you just crying?
dirty blue. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a home phone?
There is.
Okay.
I can't remember the last four digits. It's 407. The next three are easy. 704, the opposite. And I never call it.
The next three are 704?
It's 407, 704, and then I think it's 2808. It might be 2406, but I have it in my phone. We've had it since we were at Briarcliff
And when did you move to Florida?
in 2013.
Oh my God, of course. I wasn't paying attention. Dude, we've seen a lot of Florida shit lately. Like a lot of the videos we're watching has been taking place in Florida. What's going on over there, guys? I know the whole Florida guy thing, but goddamn. Get your shit together, Florida people.
Okay.
About 5 months after I met Shanti.
Did you meet her here or there?
No, why?
We met in an online chat room. I was her till we sub.
Can you tell me what year that was?
It was 2013.
2013.
I'm sorry I keep pausing, but like his fucking transition from crying to normal, it's 2013. Like, oh my God, he's so bad at this, bro. Like I've said before, chat, if I was a murderer with my acting skills, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't be able to tell, you know?
Is when you met online?
Not saying I would.
Okay. And about 5 months later, did you move here and move in with her, or just move here?
I'll try to be as accurate as possible. I believe it's the end of September.
So you guys knew each other approximately 5 years this month.
I'd never been more in love. We were so happy.
Bro, did you just pull a line out of the Notebook or something like that, dude? We were so in love. You know, it was perfect. We had a perfect relationship. We loved each other. You know, it was wonderful. Beautiful, even. I cannot believe she's gone.
Okay. If you don't, I know you've probably never been through anything like this in your life, okay? And I'm going to help you get through it. So if you have questions, you want to stop me, please do so, okay?
Poor guy.
But I do need you to understand your rights before we ask you about anything that happened in that home today, okay? All right. You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that? I'm sorry?
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Okay. Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
Absolutely? Okay. All right. So I need you to we're going to continue kind of down this path about how you all met. I know you met on Match.com, and about 5 months of, what would it be, telephone, text, and...
We just started every other weekend.
They hit it off, moved in together, then went looking for a house to buy in Florida.
We had an offer on a short sale and waited and waited and waited, and it fell through. And then we closed on the house on Copeland in April of 2015.
So you guys own the house free and clear. Is your name only on it, or was it both of yours?
When we bought the house, we weren't married, and so we
That
put it
wasn't
in a
the
trust,
question.
And we just completed the trust paperwork.
He put the house in his and his mother's names while leaving his wife out of it for, quote, planning and financial reasons. He asserts the decision was mutual, but whether Shanti actually knew about this or not is unclear.
And so once you moved to Florida, you've been living together the whole time, just home to home? Just first with the folks, then Briarcliff, and then this residence? But you've been together the whole time? Have you ever broken up?
We had a couple fights, I think when we were living at Briarcliff.
Okay.
We spent a few nights apart.
He says that he just spent a few nights with his mom, then drifts off into a statement about how Shanti was dedicated to work. The detective will now cut him off and steer the line of questioning back to the argument.
But she's
So
a strong
when you
business.
guys would argue, when you would go to your mom's, it was just because she was busy all the time, or what would the beef be?
God, yeah, this voice is AI. Listen to the inflections, bro. Literally, go to any one of his videos. It's the exact same.
The work had a lot of stress.
We're moving past. We've already moved way past the AI. Just focus on the video topic.
And she would sometimes, we always agreed, later that she was just overworked and tired and...
So she'd get a little snippy or short or yell, scream, what?
Just irritable.
Irritable.
Small irritability.
Dude, I don't know why it's pissing me off that he's like doing this little baby voice shit, you know?
Yeah, she was quite overworked, She was irritable, just a little bit irritable sometimes, normal work stuff,
Fuck you, bro! Dude, it's genuinely pissing me off that he's just like, it's like nails on a chalkboard with this shit. It's just, he's like acting like he's a little baby. You little baby. You little baby. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut up. Oh, he's pissing me off.
It's just, that's not really, I don't really do that. It's not really, I just stand there and, so I just...
What?
I would just say, I want to take a break, or just let it, a little cool down period.
Yeah, I'm sure you're such a kind and gentle person,
Sometimes she'd get a little bit aggressive with me, I just tell her, let's take a few steps back, let's take a little break from each other, spend a little bit of time away from each other, just maybe meditate on it. Do some therapy sessions and meditate, because I'm such a good guy. I'm just a wonderful person,
When we did it, we came back. I think we only did it twice, but we were stronger.
Okay. And has that happened since you moved where you are now? Because now we've got the added stress of the renovation.
No, we're pretty We love it. We love the...
This is Keith Ory, the producer of the house flipping show that David wanted to be on.
When you would be interacting with the Torontos related to your work on the house and also the show, who was your primary point of contact?
Oh, Dave was. He would communicate her desires. I would see her, but it was more like
He was her
Dave's
manager?
full-time job, almost, I guess I would say.
Did you ever know during your time that you knew Dave to have any other job?
I was aware that he had explained to me that he had worked for a chemical company up north somewhere.
I actually never knew what Dave did for a living. When my husband had asked him, he said he was into...
Wait, is he one of those dudes that feel like, what's the word? Demasculate? What's the word? It's not demasculated. Wherever you like, where like your masculinity is like sucked out of your asshole. Emasculated, yeah. He feels emasculated because his girlfriend makes more money than him and actually has a job and he's a stay-at-home dad. So he like, to feel like he has some control, he like tries to take over and like manage her shit, you know? Is that what this is?
Sales, but I don't really know what that means.
David never worked in sales or at a chemical company. You're now about to see Keith explain that he insisted on having a formal sit-down with Shanti to make sure that she was fully on board.
It was difficult to get them both together, but I explained ultimately that we couldn't go forward if I wasn't able to sit down with them both.
Ultimately, you're able to get this sit-down scheduled. Tell the jury about that meeting.
I arrived at the house to meet Dave and Shanti, and she was...
Chat, you want to see how fucking fast... Sorry, we'll get back to this. You want to see how fast YouTube copyrights my shit? The corn song and the Dragon Ball Z bit. I got 2 copyright claims instantly. Jesus.
By my estimation, unhappy to be there. And it was in a sort of a tense state. It was obvious that she was unhappy with something, and she was only there as long as she absolutely had to be, and then left.
This all occurred 6 days before Shanti was murdered.
You know what's funny? We only played like 2 seconds of the corn song. Like we barely played the corn song. You know, it's probably my cover. I think my cover was what did it.
We love what we're doing to the house. We love the vision that we had for the house. It's totally, I mean... Oh, she worked for us, but she wanted so It made me happy. It made her happy.
Shut up! Oh, I hate you. I want to punch you in the face.
When we got the house done, I just kind of, slowly phased out of it. She thought, a couple of times that she would really need to take a break, and definitely slow down, and definitely not add a whole lot more work. But she could do more if she wanted to. I'm sorry, I can't talk about it.
And that's very normal. That's very normal.
Oh my god, dude. And dude, it's been so long since I've like seen a person that I like aggressively just want to hit so fucking hard. Oh my god.
You're not going to process this for a really long time. So
he's trying so hard, dude.
Now notice how quickly he manages to pull himself out of the depths of despair and into casually talking about his house flipping show.
Oh my god, dude, that's fucking insane, bro. Yeah, so about the show.
Keith also does. Our lives are busy. I'm so sorry. I know you're asking simple questions, but Keith does a TV show.
Keith, the guy you mentioned, Ori. Okay.
It's called
Yeah,
Zombie
he
House
lit
Flipping,
up. He lit up when he starts talking about his show.
Keith asked them to be on the show.
which meant that we would get a lot of what they call trade outs and promotional sponsorship to do
Any financial incentive to do that?
Big. That's what they call trade-out. I'm sorry, that's what they call trade-out. So they're sponsors. That's one of the things I was working on yesterday, was putting together a list of the sponsorships, the windows, doors, cabinets, and so maybe instead of getting granite, you get quartz, or maybe instead of getting, middle range cabinets, you get high-end stuff. And we're also working on kind of just an amazing open concept stairway in the middle of the house that was going to go all the way up to the pond.
Why are you the way he's describing it? Oh, an amazing open concept. It was going to be beautiful. We're going to have a beautiful open concept with a stairway, glorious stairway that was going to go. Oh God, you should have seen it. It was wonderful. Oh, my dead wife? Right. But let me tell you more about the stairway, okay?
And so they'd come in and start filming? Mm-hmm. Would they film you all or just the work?
No. Yeah, it's just the house. They're the stars.
Pay no.
What is this? Why are you sending this to me? Well, yeah, that's what he sounds like. A bitch.
Attention to David's no. He fully understood that he would be featured prominently on the show as the main builder construction guy. The so-called stars he's talking about are the hosts. The detective will now establish a timeline.
So when she comes home Sunday, it's you, Jackson.
He even drinks water like a loser.
And you just stay at home and have a pool get together?
We only have them every other Sunday. It's our family day, and we do like to have an early meal, watch a movie.
So, do you recall Sunday night about what time everybody goes to sleep, since you're all
We go to
same
bed early on school nights, so 8:30 we're winding down, 9 o'clock lights are low.
Shanti's son gets picked up the next day at around 5 p.m.
5 p.m.-ish, okay. All right, and then do you guys go anywhere, do anything, or you stay at home?
I think we made dinner together.
How do you drink water not like a loser? Show us. Okay. Like that.
That night.
Gay?
That would have been Monday night.
How was that gay?
Did.
Any idea what?
American Idol.
Okay, so you wake up.
That is super. How was that super gay? That was like, come on. Did you land the bottle, Pig? Yes, I landed the bottle. Of course I landed the bottle. Thank you for the 8 months, Mooney. What do you mean?
Tuesday morning and you're in the garage on the couch?
Mm-hmm. I usually wait for her to come down. She came down after 7 o'clock, probably.
Speak normally, dude. I'm actually getting pissed.
Shanti went back upstairs, and David started doing chores around the house. He's now about to mention the last time he supposedly saw Shanti alive, and then break into another fake hysteric. Yet this time, he will get no reassuring feedback from the detective, and the charade will rapidly dissipate.
Just normal routine. I should come down again. That's how I saw it.
Dude, it's just like anytime he wants to show emotion, he just raises like the pitch of his voice.
We were doing our morning routine, like David Goggins, We got the ice water and we dumped our faces in the ice water. And then
She came down again.
Red circle! Red circle!
And I've thought about it. I tried to think exactly what time it is, but I don't know exactly. I would say probably 9:15. And the reason I know that is she said
she was going to the dentist, and he said he was going for a walk. He now attempts another fake cry, but gets ignored again.
And
did you take the dogs for a walk?
I went for a walk.
By yourself?
By myself.
And where'd you go?
The bounce back and forth between being sad and being fine is amazing.
He comes back home and feeds the dogs.
That's all that I can remember until I went upstairs to see when we were going to pick up Johnson.
Okay, and what happens when you enter the home? Is anything unusual? When you enter the garage apartment?
So, I could hear the water is running, but it's not running.
Well, you better go catch it.
Running. It's just, it's trickling out of the spout.
Okay, and so you walk toward the water that you're hearing?
Yeah, working in the bathroom.
Okay.
Just in case you didn't catch the passive-aggressive nature of that response, here it is again without subtitles.
So you walk toward the water that you're hearing?
Yeah, working in the bathroom.
Okay.
Just look at David's face. Poor David really doesn't want to be getting grilled like this anymore. Keep in mind,
Yo, thank you, Necropolis. Imagine trying to watch this guy without subtitles. Oh, and here's $5. Yeah. I mean, all you just hear is.
and it's almost 11 p.m. He likely didn't get a whole lot of sleep the night before, and he's been acting his ass off all throughout the day. He'll at this point be exhausted, and want nothing more than to get out of that police station. But he doesn't want to challenge the detective directly, and risk losing her approval.
Five-Finger
Hence he
Freddy?
throws out a weak little display of passive aggression to see if she'll pick up on the hint, but it of course gets ignored. She will simply continue pressing with an unsympathetic tone which will cause David to revert back to appeasement. He will then begin recounting the horrific circumstances under which he supposedly found Shanti. And as this unfolds, you will see a glaring disparity in David's emotional presentation.
The door's open, and what happens? What do you see?
I see her laying with her head in the right-hand corner. And it's just...
Dude, he's talking quieter. How are you talking quieter, my guy? Oh my God.
Truly awful, and it doesn't look natural. Obviously, she fell or something happened.
Wow. That's all you got. That's all you got. Oh yeah, obviously she wasn't normal. Probably fell. Something, I don't fucking know. But she's dead. And I'm sad. You know? Like what?
But you did shut off the water.
I did shut off the water it drained, which tells me I could hear it draining when I pulled her out. I could hear. So that, okay, so I guess this is all weird, right? Because she's in there.
Whoa! What happened to your baby voice? He's talking he's talking normal all of a sudden. What happened?
The water's on and it's draining. It doesn't make any. It just doesn't make sense.
And it's not on all the way. It's on how
like lukewarm, so just past half.
And she's face down. So the first thing you do is what, if you recall?
I reached out and grabbed her. I reached out and
Oh, here comes the baby voice again.
And touched her right arm. The water is rose colored, so there's blood in the water itself. I can see a spot of blood.
And you pull her by her arms?
So I grabbed someplace on her arm. I tried to get kind of under it a little bit.
And you said
He seems very upset and distraught.
Yeah.
Yo! The breakfast elf, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. This isn't fucking real, bro. He takes a cracker break while describing how he pulled his wife, his girlfriend, out of the bathtub. Like, you can't even make this shit up, dude. Like, what the fuck? Sorry, cracker. He was eating a cracker.
There's something so incredibly unnerving in the sound of the casual crunching of his snack as he recounts in precise detail the limp and lifeless body of his wife, so we'll spare you the rest of it.
I had to pull her and turn her a couple of times. Then she felt cold. You asked how she felt. She felt cold.
She felt cold.
I grabbed the,
You grabbed the what?
You're like, what is that face? Yeah, so like I pulled on her and then she He's not even making any fucking noise. He's just making a weird fucking face. What? Wow, what a fucking loser, dude.
We had, when we did the bedding, we took the mattress cover off to wash it.
The detective asks David to draw a map for the purpose of illustrating the timeline of his movements. She will now shift the line of questioning and begin to gradually intensify the pressure.
When was the last time the two of you argued?
You wanted to be an actor but couldn't cut it and settle with interior design? You know, honestly, I don't see it. I could see him being a great actor. What are you talking about? Like, he's doing an incredible job right now.
very briefly on Saturday, right before we left.
The argument was over the renovation. David likely admitted to this because Shanti's son was there for it.
The upstairs floor was very wavy, and the point of contention probably was, do we tear all of that out? And
Is this one of his new characters? Did he come out with a new character? Like he pulled out the glasses and turned into the emote. Let me tell you about our house plan. Like, dude, whenever he talks about his house, he like shifts on a dime to whatever this character is.
The point of contention probably was, do we tear all of that out and put in new structure and trusses so we have a perfectly flat floor and then a perfectly flat ceiling? But I don't think it's an argument if Shanti and I are both on the same page and we're both just in agreement and upset.
He's like all business right now. Bro is all business.
Reasonably and justifiably upset that it's taking longer. Shanti and I aren't fighting about it. We're both upset about the same thing.
Does she feel as though you don't listen to her?
No, I don't think so. She knows I listen.
Has any fight ever turned physical between the two of you?
No.
Okay. Has she ever hurt you, hit you, struck you, threw anything at you?
No.
No. Have you ever harmed her physically?
No.
David continues to pretend that he doesn't notice the accusatory nature of the questioning, so the detective will now intensify the pressure to a significant degree.
She seems to shed.
Her injuries to me, David, seem...
Hit him with it. Hit him with it.
Really significant.
Hit him. Don't sugarcoat it.
More significant than from a soft tissue fall. More significant than from me tripping and falling and hitting my head and being knocked unconscious.
She elaborates on the inconsistencies while David just sits there and nods.
The issue I'm having with it is I absolutely think that she was deceased before you left to go to the park.
Dude, he's still fucking shaking his head. What? Dude, there's nothing going on up there, bro. He's got nothing going on up there. It's just emptiness. Bro's he just NPC'd this entire conversation. Just, yes, I agree. She can literally say, you killed her, and it'll just keep going. Yeah, you're right.
She repeats what she said a few more times, while David just keeps doing what he's doing.
Okay, so I think that you've told us a significant amount of information. You've been very cooperative. But I also think that you've left some stuff out.
Wow.
And I think you've left some stuff out that is maybe something got out of hand, maybe you didn't mean for it to happen, maybe you got upset, but there's something that happened between the two of you before you left that house.
He just starts shaking his head again. Yes, yeah.
Because she was deceased.
Oh no! He's shaking his head no now! He
before you left
changed!
that house. Now, if there's an explanation,
I
want to hear it.
I told you everything.
Yeah, but you've left out something, David, because this woman has significant injuries. Okay, this is not from a fall. Did you harm Shanti in any way?
Absolutely not.
Did you choke her?
Absolutely not.
Did you strangle her?
Without question, no.
Thank you, Zombie Berry, for the 9 months.
Did you hit her with anything?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Do you have injuries?
I do not. I do have some scratches from the bromeliads.
Yo! Whoa! Whoa!
I do trim them myself.
Aside from the scratches from his plants, David had no injuries that could indicate a struggle. But this might explain why.
You noticed a single earring on the nightstand?
A single what?
A single diamond earring on the nightstand.
Yes.
Yeah, what was the significance of that?
Looks like she removed it before bed and didn't get a chance to remove the other one.
Because you believe that's when the attack occurred.
On the edge of the bed, where the blood was found on the side rail, yes. And I think when she turned to take that earring out, she didn't see it coming.
Would you mind Just for me to be able to say David is a perfect gentleman and is in the clear and did not harm his wife, would you mind taking a polygraph and proving that to us?
Absolutely.
Okay. Would that
He's shaking his head no, but he said absolutely.
be a possibility? Yeah. Okay. All right.
The detective asks David if he wants another water, to which he says,
Absolutely.
sure. So she brings him a water and tells him they'll be right back with a polygraph machine. But instead of coming right back, they leave him in there for just over 2 hours, during which time they decide not to proceed with the polygraph, but simply ramp up the confrontation.
Hi. You doing okay?
Yeah, it's just,
Did you sleep a little?
I did.
I know you've got to be exhausted. Or at least
Yeah, he's really exhausted from killing his girlfriend.
mentally. Yeah.
I just want to point out some things to you that I think are unusual. There's so many, I really don't know where to begin, to be perfectly honest.
Polygraphs are only a bluff tool as far as I'm aware. No, they're more of just like a gauging whether or not bro is stressed out. But yeah, they're not really like, you know, they're not like proof or anything. It's more like just figuring out whether or not dude's heart rate is floating around. Pastel Paul, thanks for $2. And I thought that I mumbled. He's not mumbling. He's baby talking.
With you. I think that...
See, that's a beta way to drink water. I'm just saying, if you guys drink water like that, you're a beta.
I find that the living arrangement, I find to be completely unusual for you to be primarily living downstairs.
I'm not primarily living downstairs.
Well, sleeping.
What I said is that I sleep down there, but I don't go down there till we're done with dinner. We're done watching TV or doing what we've done for the evening.
It's the correct way to drink. Okay, chat, we've been over this. Like this is how he drinks water. Okay, this is how he.
Yeah.
Like a baby. Okay, you just have to like that.
Okay, just hear me out.
Okay.
So you don't go upstairs during the day when
Fast,
she's working.
quick.
You leave her alone.
You're done.
And then
Not entirely. I do go up there.
Okay.
But I don't work up there while she's on the phone because it's distracting. It's her office. I think that I've explained extremely well. She didn't sleep. She did, but you said...
He continues defending the fact that he was exiled to the garage.
I think it's an adjustment and a transition that she didn't feel like she could make right now because she couldn't afford the time that it would take.
But she's sleeping in the only part of the
He
residence
was exiled to the garage?
that's semi-comfortable.
Get fucked,
You're
bitch.
sleeping in the garage with the dogs.
how do you explain this woman's head being swollen, her eyes being black?
And would never, ever hurt her.
So when you pulled her out of the tub, you agreed with me that the water came out of the tub. There's not a spot of water on the floor, David. The carpet isn't wet. The carpet isn't wet from where she was pulled out of the bathtub, sopping wet, all the way around to the front of the couch. The carpet's not wet. There's no blood on the carpet.
Oh?
Notice how little David moves compared to the detective. It doesn't correlate with anything in particular. It's just sort of interesting to watch.
My guess is she was intrigued.
You know, I appreciate that he wasn't trying to spin it in like some... Because I've seen so many videos where like, and this is actually a tactic that these people use. You know, the more you move, the more powerful you look. You know what I mean? At least it's like, no, it just looks cool. It kind of looks goofy. Looks like she's beatboxing when it's sped up. You know what it looks like? 1 second. This is going to be worth it. This is totally going to be worth it, guys. All right, just wait.
The carpet isn't wet from where she was pulled out of the bath.
It's just sort of... Notice how little David moves.
God damn. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it at the right time, damn it. Okay, it's worth it. It's worth it, okay? Yeah, see? Wait.
Let me show you how to scratch it.
There it is! There it is!
Destiny still arrives.
There it is! We got it! We got it! Yo, Chloe, thank you so much for the gifted sub. It was worth it, chat. It was worth it, okay? I don't care what you say.
She was in training.
Appreciate the very kind things that you've said.
Oh, you guys can't see the video. God, dude, God! Professional streamer, by the way.
I'm missing what you're saying because of your suit that you're moving, but I'm missing it. It's really loud, but I missed what you said because you're talking so loud.
I'm sorry, it's Paulina. I appreciate the things that you've said and the genuine consideration and thoughtfulness.
You're just saying words.
Yeah, I appreciate your generosity, your thoughtfulness, your cleverness, your wonderfulness, your beautifulness. You're very impressive. You're a wonderful person. I appreciate everything you've done for me right here.
Thunder.
Behind it.
David, you killed this woman.
I cooperated so I could give you all the information and all.
You cooperated because you thought that your language would overwhelm us.
Uh-oh.
You thought you could pull the wool over.
Oh, you're caught.
I didn't think there was any.
Chat, we broke 24 hours. We're almost done.
Do that.
All of this, all these tangents, all this flowery, fancy language,
answers to
all the
questions that you
details.
asked. To questions that you asked.
You know, you fake cried for about 7 or 8 hours today.
Get him! Get him! Yes! Get him! Tell him!
Not one. Not on scene with the officers. Not in this room. You have fake cried over this woman's death since we made contact with you for hours. And every single time you fake cried, you wrote it down.
Boom!
Not one tear came out of your eyes. Not one. Nope. Okay, we've been extremely patient with you for a very long time. I am losing my patience at this point because there is not a lick of remorse for what you did to this woman. Not even a little bit. You're staring at a woman you're telling us you're in love with, and you've done nothing the whole time. But close your eyes, huddle up, and protect your own ass.
Damn, that goes hard.
We're just going to prove you're full of shit.
Dude!
And solve this case.
Yo, Lemony Split, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Dude, they are getting... Dude, he is getting destroyed right now.
And I'm glad you think that's funny. I'm glad you think that's funny.
The investigators would exit the room shortly after this moment, at 4:56 a.m. David would then sit there for a little over 2 hours before finally asking to go home. But before being driven back by one of the officers, they asked him if they could take his photograph. He cheerfully obliged.
He's smiling.
Judging by his expression, he may have thought he had just gotten away with murder, but a grand jury indicted him 4 months later, and he was arrested.
Thank you, Galactic Bitch, for the gifted membership.
At his mother's house. When he was told he was facing life imprisonment and that the evidence against him was overwhelming, he started acting crazy and went for the insanity defense. He was then sent to a maximum security psych unit.
What a fucking bitch.
Where he spent 5 years before a judge ruled him competent to stand trial. This is what he looked like on the day he was transferred back to jail. His trial began on October 12th, and last—
Dude, he went there to try and use his acting chops. That's what he was doing. He tried to act insane. He was showing off his acting chops, and he's like, okay, it's not gonna work here, or maybe I'll just act crazy. I'll grow scraggly hair and make my I'll make my eyes all beady and creepy.
Lasted 6 days. He maintained his plea of not guilty, with his official defense being that he was out of the house walking the dogs while an unknown intruder
What? Bro, what?
broke in and murdered Shanti.
You heard about the sleeping arrangement. You heard how the defendant was sleeping in the garage with the dogs while Shanti was staying in the essential, one-bedroom apartment separate and apart from him. And this had been going on, for over a year. This was an intentional killing. A random stranger that comes into a house isn't going to, take the time that it takes to strangle a person, to move them to a tub. Not take anything? Doesn't make any sense. Leave no sign behind, no fingerprints, no DNA? That doesn't make any sense. You have the severe beating of Shanti. You have the injuries to both sides of her face. You have the fractured skull, the swollen shut eye.
Why is he puckering his mouth like that? Bro, who fucking knows?
The damaged eye on the other side. That you saw the intense bruising and bleeding in both sides of her mouth. This was a beating. So at some point in that beating, the defendant, and you can infer this from the facts, intended to cause the death. And he did it with a premeditated design. We ask that you convict him of first-degree murder. Thank you.
The defense mainly tries to evoke empathy for the defendant, but it ends up just roasting the fake crazy out of him.
Shanti's the only source of the income. She's the breadwinner. He does nothing other than take care of the pool and the dogs.
Yeah, that sounds like a you problem. What sympathy am I supposed to feel for you? Your case is that you want me to feel sympathy because you don't do anything? What?
It's about circumstantial evidence, pure supposition, all steered by Teresa Sprague, who prejudged this.
Chat, you can't see it, but here, let me move this. And chat, and the timer. He's talking about her, and she fucking laughs about
Teresa
it.
Sprague, who prejudged this case.
The red circle, in case you guys, missed it.
Based upon a phone call received from her from an officer at the scene about these crocodile tears. This is just a hunch, ladies and gentlemen. A hunch. If you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras, sort of thing. Because
that was terrible analogy, bro. You suck. You're bad lawyer.
That's the point. You don't get to fit a square peg in a round hole because it's convenient.
I'm sorry? You know what? I'm glad he got this lawyer. That's all I'm gonna say. Good thing he got this lawyer, because this lawyer sucks. It's a common analogy. Yeah, but how does it work here in any way? Putting us what? It doesn't make any sense.
And that's what happened here. With the rush to judgment, with the confirmational bias, those two detectives went into a room with David Tronis and worked him over. He sat there for 16 hours, bared his soul to them, literally and figuratively. Told them what he knew.
Pulled out my soul.
Told them what he saw.
You hear hooves, you think horses are not zebras. You put a square in a circle in a you can't put a hole in a square. You can't put in a square. The hole is in the soul.
The government's spinning here. The government's the one taking the insignificant and stacking them into a pyramid. And I'm
a pyramid scheme.
That after carefully deliberating, that you'll come back and return the only just verdict in this case, and that's a.
Chat, you guys think I'm a professional yapper? This dude just said nothing for who knows how long. He literally just said nothing.
Verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
Verdict reads, we the jury
He basically, in a complicated way, said, nuh-uh, he didn't do it,
The defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. So it says we all, dated at Orange County, Florida, on the 18th day of October, 2023, signed by the foreperson.
In the midst of this tragedy, Shanti's impact as a mother was shown through her son, Jackson. His victim impact statement was both heartrending and dignified.
God.
My family and I have been waiting for about 5 years for justice. I miss her so much.
Poor kid.
I would have never thought the day before was the last time I would see my mother alive. I miss the times where we would go to Universal, or just the simple times, like walking the dogs or going to the park. She was the best mom I could ever ask for.
God damn it, dude. It's gonna make me cry.
That's it.
Defense, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Jackson. Mr. Tronis, anything you wish to say prior to sentencing? I think you just said no, is that right?
Oh my God! Speak up, you fucking bitch! Dude, I hate this guy so much.
Then in this case, the court will adjudicate you guilty. We'll sentence you to life imprisonment. Luck to you, sir. And the court will be in recess.
This is his latest mugshot. He is currently being housed at the Graceville Correctional Facility in maximum security, where he is expected to remain.
Fucking piece of shit. Oh my god, dude. Oh, I hate you. I hate you. Fucking piece of garbage. He looks like a thumb. He is a thumb.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views.